Good morning. It's Wednesday, August the 28th, 2013. This is AGORACOM News TV. This is a program where we go through all the various different press releases and try to find the best ones that stand out to us. And then the ideal goal is to help find companies for you to do your homework on and find some good investment winners in there is the big plan. I'm Alan Barry Labucan. I'm the Chief Market Commentator for AGORACOM. And on today's show, I've got eight companies that are involved with news today. So we got quite a bit to talk about. I'm going to get right to it. One of the companies today is Banks Island Gold. They received assay results from their Red Mountain Gold project located near Stewart, British Columbia, Canada. The purpose of drilling was to confirm grades reported by past operators and determine the distribution of grades, as the company believed that there was a high-grade core with medium and low-grade envelopes. The company has completed mine planning and engineering fieldwork this summer, including a LiDAR survey and road engineering. Exploration drilling, diamond drilling at Red Mountain was focused on determining grade distribution, defining the high-grade core of the marked zone, and providing a metallurgical sample for process plant design. Assay results from the two diamond drill holes have been received. One of those holes had 4.4 grams per ton gold over 71 meters. Included in that was 12.9 grams per ton gold over 21.9 meters and 21.6 grams per ton gold over 11 meters. Their other drill hole intercepted 6.3 grams per ton gold over 52.5 meters. Included in that was a 16.2 grams per ton gold over 16.8 meters and 32 grams per ton gold over 72 meters. Mineralized intersections are displayed in the table that's attached on the press release. The mine planning, the company is examining the use of different cutoff grades, mining methods, and scale of operations to determine the optimum strategy to bring Red Mountain project into production. They feel that the high-grade core is surrounded by a medium-grade envelope, and this medium-grade envelope is enclosed in a larger halo of lower-grade mineralization. They're looking at the various different ways that they may be able to mine that. I've got to do some more homework on this company because it seems to me that they're kind of early in the state, to be working towards production, but I'll look at more of their historical information. The President and Chief Executive Officer of Banks Island is Benjamin Mossman. He stated, and I quote, "Management is very pleased with the results of the drilling program at Red Mountain, as it confirms our belief that there are several very good options to advance the Red Mountain project to production." Again, I'm going to do some homework on this. They drilled a couple of holes to confirm the historical drilling, but now they're talking about production. So I want to take a look at that and see how much historical work has been done. There may be a significant amount that I'm unaware of, and again, I think that this is a good company to take a look at and do your homework on. The symbol on that one is BOZ, and that trades on the Venture Exchange. The next company I want to talk about today is Pacific Potash. Pacific Potash is an AGORACOM sponsor. I wanted to make you aware of that before I talked about their news. The news that they had out yesterday afternoon is they've entered into an agreement in principle to merge with Cowley Mining PLC. If completed, the merger will effectively make Pacific Potash the holder of the second largest land holdings in the Amazonas Potash Basin, similar in size to the land separately controlled by Petrobras and Brazil Potash. The parties also intend to raise up to $12 million in equity financing for the merged entity to be completed upon closing of the transaction. Some of the highlights include Cowley's land holdings could potentially host expansive potash deposits based on historical data and based on recent discoveries found within the basin. Part of Cowley's land holdings are immediately adjacent to Brazil Potash. They've got large resources of potassium chloride on their ground, and Petrobas's deposits, Fazendina and Aurora. Again, they've got quite a bit of work done on those projects, the ground next door to them as well. Combined entity to become the largest publicly listed land rights holder in the Amazon potash basin. Another highlight is Brazil is the third largest potash consumer globally, consuming 8.1 million tons in 2012 and expected to grow to 13 million tons to 14 million tons by 2020, but is dependent on imports by over 90% of the annual demand, whereas domestic supply could offer a transportation cost advantage. Advantages of the merger: the combined entity following the completion of the merger transaction will have the following main value drivers. The merged company will have the second largest land holding in the basin, similar to the land packages separately held by Petrobras and Brazil Potash. The merged company's management and advisory team will have over 300 years of combined mineral exploration and mining experience, primarily with expertise in potash located in the Amazon basin. The financial assets of companies will be combined. In addition, the resulting companies will have better access to sources of financing in the capital markets, particularly in Europe, Asia, North America, and Brazil. The merger will reduce competition in the basin and leave two major active players, Brazil Potash and Pacific Potash. Merged coal will benefit from economies of scale, ensuring that administrations, operations, and other costs will be streamlined. Joint management is anticipated commencing drilling in September as previously planned by Pacific Potash's exploration team. As a result of the combined resources, the merger will greatly enhance the company's ability to complete the major six-well drill program presently budgeted to cost $10 million. There's a quote from Balbir Johal, who's the executive chairman and director of Pacific Potash, who stated in a quote, "The merger will make the new company stronger and better. That is the greater value for our stakeholders. Together with Cowley, we will have a stronger exploration team in Brazil, connections to greater sources of finance capital in Asia, Europe, North America, and Brazil, and a common vision to build an extraordinary company." End quote. Oliver Polcher of Cowley Mining stated, and I quote, "Cowley considers the planned combination with Pacific Potash to be consistent with our mission to build a first-class potash project in Brazil. We believe that by combining our expertise, adding to each other's global reach, and consolidating our land packages in the Amazonas Potash Basin, we may create a stronger value proposition for investors and ultimately deliver returns for all stakeholders involved." The stock symbol on Pacific Potash is PP.V on the venture exchange. What's interesting to me about Pacific Potash is what they mention about the fact that Brazil is the third largest consumer of potash globally, yet they have to import 90% of their potash, and there are significant resources in the country. And, you know, if you didn't have to pay for all that shipping cost, it would bring the cost of the potash delivered in Brazil much lower when it's coming from Brazil. That's a very distinct advantage in the pricing of whatever they find there. I'll be really interested to see the results of the drilling that they're talking about commencing. I think that ultimately will tell a big story about the company. Again, the symbol on that one is PP on the venture exchange. The next company I wanted to talk about is Brixton Metals Corp. They released drill results from their first phase 1 exploration program at their 100% owned Thorn project. Brixton completed 28 holes for a total of 4,617 meters of NQ-sized core drilling within and near the Oban diatreme breccia zone. The headline stated that Brixton Metals expands the Oban zone and drills up to 1,275 grams per ton silver, or 1,325 grams per ton silver equivalent. For example, they talk about several of the holes. One of their holes had a 1 meter intersection of 1,060 grams per ton silver, or 1,167.46 grams per ton silver equivalent within 4 meters of 415 grams per ton silver, or 482 grams per ton silver equivalent. They've got some gold in there as well, which kicks up their silver equivalent number. That was within a broader zone interval of 113 meters of 58.65 grams per ton silver, which works out to 81.30 grams per ton silver equivalent from 38 meters depth, so very close to surface, right at surface. Near surface silver-rich mineralization at the Oban zone was extended by 70 meters in the northerly direction from hole 60. They got plenty of other holes, lots of this high-grade silver and silver equivalents when you calculate in the gold as well. The Oban zone remains open at depth and along strike in several directions. The 2013 drilling has confirmed that the high-grade mineralization is not restricted to the Oban breccia and is also hosted by the Thome stock. Then they talk about more of their drilling results. There's a quote from the chairman and CEO of Brixton, who's Gary Thompson. He stated, and I quote, "This recent drill program continues to demonstrate the high-grade, high-margin potential of the Thome project. Additional drilling is required to further expand these high-grade zones and to test the many high-grade silver-gold targets that exist on the Thorn property." He further added, "Our goal is to conduct follow-up exploration before the end of the 2013 season." End quote. I have done a little bit of homework on this company, and I like a lot of what I see with this company. They've got a major silver producer as a significant shareholder in the company that has participated in their past private placements. I like the really high-grade nature of their silver, and with gold there, I like that their zone is open and can grow quite significantly from where it is so far. It's a really good one, I think, to take a look at. Their stock symbol is BBB, and that trades on the Venture Exchange. The next company is Colorado Resources. Colorado announced 402 meters of 0.28% copper and 0.27 grams per ton gold in a step-out hole 400 meters southeast of the North Rock Discovery hole. Colorado Resources released results of 9 additional drill holes, totaled 3,148 meters from the drill program at their 100% owned North Rock property located 15 kilometers northwest of Imperial Metals' Red Chris mine in northwestern British Columbia. In addition, the company announces that it received approval from the Ministry of Energy, Mines and Natural Gas to drill an additional 40 holes on the property. They talk about how the holes were 100 and 200 meter step outs to the southeast of previously drilled holes. One hole was drilled 100 meters to the northwest of the discovery hole. Another hole stepped back to the southwest and also returned mineralization 150 meters off the main trend and may indicate the presence of a second parallel zone developing in this area. The company stated that they're pleased that the progress is made in defining the size of the North Rock porphyry body and demonstrating the continuity of mineralization on multiple sections over 500 meter strike length. One of the holes, as they mentioned, is a 402 meter interval grading 0.28% copper and 0.27 grams per ton gold, which works out to 0.45% copper equivalent. They had a higher grade sub-interval in there. They completed their first pass drilling on 500 meters of the 1,200 meter straight long magnetic high trend, giving the technical team a good understanding of the significant mineralized system, which continues to remain open along strike in both directions and at depth. Adam Travis, who's the president and CEO of Colorado Resources, commented, and I quote, "In a mere 4 months since our initial discovery hole was announced, we have completed nearly 6,000 meters of drilling, enlarged the North Rock porphyry body to over 500 meters in strike length, maintained average grades of over 0.50% copper equivalent in a total of over 1,800 meters of mineralized intersections, and returned significant porphyry mineralization from 10 of 12 holes. I am particularly encouraged by hole NR 13-013, our farthest mineralized intersection from the discovery hole, which had to be terminated at the drill's maximum capacity of 565 meters depth, but was still returning mineralized material grading 0.24% copper and 0.11 grams per ton gold from the bottom of the hole." The stock symbol is CXO on the venture exchange. This company has created quite a stir in the last little while. They were 14 center, made a significant hit with their drilling, drove the stock all the way up to $1.74. It's come off quite significantly from that level. In fact, today it was down another 35% and is trading, I'm just trying to prick it up here, at only 48 cents right now. I think what happened there was that the market was anticipating, something different than what was kind of expected. From the early drilling results, it looked like this was a lower grade type of a system, and but very high tonnage potential. And that's what they've confirmed more with this recent drilling, and as well as the potential to get much bigger. They've got a potential very big footprint there. But again, it's one of those high tonnage, low grade deposits. Those kind of projects tend to cost a lot of money to bring into production. And I think now people are not just jumping on because of the bandwagon of the stock. They're looking at it and saying, well, what are the numbers relating to this discovery? And based on that, it's not quite as enthusiastic in the trading. But again, it's a very large tonnage target. And I'm going to be doing some more homework on that. The company symbol is CXO, and it trades on the Venture Exchange. The next company I wanted to talk about today was Redstar Gold Corp. Redstar drilling at Newman Todd. The headline is "Drilling at Newman Todd intersects high-grade gold, 10.39 grams per ton gold over 9.5 meters, including 103 grams per ton gold over a half a meter." Redstar released additional high-grade gold results from the 2013 diamond drill program at the Newman Todd property in Red Lake, Ontario. The 4 holes reported in this release were drilled on sections 2000 and 2025. Note NT-151 was released by Confederation on August 23rd, so just last week. These holes together have intersected high-grade mineralization, which is interpreted to be continuous across both cross-sections. The mineralization is closely associated with the hanging wall or the southern contact of the Newman Todd structure. Drilling in 2013 has focused on a 575-meter corridor within the Newman-Todd structure termed the Hinge Zone. The entire strike length of the drilled area of the NTS is approximately 1.8 kilometers, and this strike remains untested for an additional 400 meters to the southwest at depth. Drilling highlights included that hole that they mentioned, 13.46 grams per ton gold over 1.5 meters, including 24 grams per ton gold over a half a meter. Another hole had 98.6 grams per ton gold over 1 meter. Another hole had 12.42 grams per ton gold over 3 meters, including 28.8 grams per ton gold over a half a meter. Another hole had 16.7 grams per ton gold over 1 meter. There's a quote from Bob Singh, who's the president of Redstar. He stated, and I quote, "The high-grade gold mineralization intersected in these holes and other holes in the area is closely related to the hanging wall, our southern contact of the NTS. The zones occur approximately 5 to 25 meters away from the contact. The style of gold mineralization is well documented at the Red Lake mine, where the high-grade zone occurs proximal to a folded mafic ultramafic contact. We look forward to additional results from the exciting new high-grade discovery in Red Lake." End quote. A little bit about the deal on this property. Exploration work at Newman-Todd is financed by the operator Confederation Minerals. They have an agreement between Redstar and Confederation. Confederation can earn a 50% interest in the project by spending $5 million on exploration, paying Redstar a total of $250,000, and issuing Redstar 500,000 shares by November 2013. To date, Confederation has spent in excess of $5 million on exploration on the project, paid Redstar $175,000, and issued Redstar 350,000 shares. Confederation can earn an additional 20% interest by producing a National Instrument 43-101 compliant preliminary economic assessment by November 2016. So these two companies have, a project in Red Lake, Ontario, which is one of the best camps in the world for high-grade gold. The nature of the gold discoveries out there, you get these very narrow, high-grade vein, kind of steeply dipping veins. Looks like that's what they have here, and at their Newman-Todd project, and it's a very interesting project. The two companies involved are Redstar. Their symbol is RGC on the venture, and Confederation, which is stock symbol is CFM, also on the venture exchange. The final companies today, this is a 50-50 joint venture. SGX Resources step-out drilling has successfully extended the Tully deposit eastward by more than 100 meters and to depth by more than 250 meters from the limits of previous drilling. The Tully deposit is jointly owned on a 50-50 basis by SGX Resources and Gold Corp. Strike extensions of the zone continue to be realized at the easternmost known extent of the deposit, which one of the holes cut 6.7 meters of 9 grams per ton gold, more than 200 meters below surface. They hit wide high-grade vein sets, have also identified more than 600 meters below surface, as evidenced by another of their drill holes, which encountered 6.5 meters of 8 grams per ton gold. Drilling continues to focus on gaps of information and on extending the zone along strike and to depth. A number of broad high-grade intersections near surface and to depths of more than 600 meters have been encountered so far this year in a series of thickly stacked gold-bearing lenses or veins making up the Tully deposit. There's a quote from Dale Ginn, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer of SGX Resources. He stated, and I quote, Results from our step-out drilling program this summer have been very rewarding and continue to highlight the Tully deposit as one of the few undeveloped, near-surface, high-grade gold deposits that exist in North America. Our interpretation of Tully as a repeating set of stacked veins analogous to a Venetian blind concept is paying off, as we are now able to confidently connect with mineralization away from the main deposit along strike and to depth. The deposit host tuff unit is now readily identifiable along strike for a few kilometers in either direction, and we now have confirmed grade and width to depth. This, coupled with the deposit's proximity to existing mills and roads as well as nearby deposits, gives us a great deal of confidence in Tully's potential. End quote. So Timmins, well-known mining camp, they're finding some very promising grades of gold. They seem to have a handle on the shape of the deposit. As they mentioned, it's like Venetian blind, so you've got these stacked sort of deposits that have some gaps in between, but could be quite sizable lenses in themselves. So they do a good job there of giving you an idea of what it looks like. The two companies involved with this, as I mentioned, are their 50-50 partners. SGX Resources stock symbol is SXR, and that trades on the Venture Exchange. And the other company is Gold Corp, which stock symbol is SGR on the Toronto Exchange. So, we're into the last week of August here, and still lots of companies putting out a lot of really good information. I think there's some good companies in there to do your homework on. As always, this show, what I do every morning is a discipline that I've had since 2005 when I started writing my reports. Every morning I go through all the various different news releases and try to find the ones that stand out the most to me. The idea there is to find good companies to do homework on and to ultimately find winners in there. What I do those shows Monday through Thursday. You can find all the shows that I work on agoracom.com. Those Monday through Thursday shows are right on the main page of the website. And then on Friday, George Cholis and I, George is the founder of AGORACOM, and we do a weekly show where I take the best of all the news releases from Monday through Thursday show and try to find the best of those for you and to sort of find some, help you further find some big winners in your for your investment to consider for investing in. That's just wanted to give a little plug for the shows and give you an idea of when we put these out. On that note, I'm going to wrap things up. Before closing, I always like to stress that this show is for information purposes, and it's important for you to do your homework and speak with your financial advisors before making any investment decisions. On that note, we'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day.